She was never meant to fit the mold. In a world obsessed with perfection, Lana Del Rey emerged as something entirely different, haunting, nostalgic, and impossibly magnetic. Her voice felt like a confession whispered in the dark, her image a portrait torn from a forgotten decade. And yet, behind the melancholy glamour was a woman fighting battles the world never saw. How does a quiet, troubled girl from Lake Placid transform into the gothic pop poet who changed the sound of an entire generation? How did a single homemade video games ignite a cultural storm that launched her to global fame? And into the center of one of the most polarizing careers in modern music? This is the rise, the chaos, the reinvention, and the myth of Lana Del Rey, a woman adored, attacked, misunderstood, and ultimately unstoppable. Before she became Lana Del Rey, she was Elizabeth Woolridge Grant, a quiet girl born in New York City and raised in the small, isolated town of Lake Placid. Her childhood looked peaceful from the outside, a stable middle-class family, a comfortable home, and parents who worked hard to give their children opportunities. But inside, Elizabeth carried a loneliness she couldn't explain, while other kids blended easily into school life. She often felt like she was watching the world from behind a glass wall, present, but not truly part of it. By her early teens, she struggled with intense anxiety and a growing dependence on alcohol, searching for something to numb the feeling of not belonging. At just 14, her parents made a desperate decision. They sent her to a strict Catholic boarding school to help her recover. It was a dark, confusing chapter, but it also became the first turning point of her life. Away from home, cut off from distractions, Elizabeth found one thing that made sense: writing. Poetry became her escape. Melody became her language. And the sadness she once feared started to transform into something else. A source of creativity. Those early wounds would later become the foundation of her music, the reason her songs feel like diary pages set to haunting melodies. After finishing school, Elizabeth Grant moved to New York City with a simple dream: to make music that felt honest. But New York didn't open its arms easily. For years, she performed in tiny bars, dim lounges, and half-empty cafes, any place that would let her sing. She tried different names, different looks, different sounds. Lizzie Grant, Sparkle Jump Rope Queen. Each identity was a new attempt to find the voice she felt inside, but couldn't fully express yet. She lived in a small apartment in the Bronx, recording demos on her laptop, teaching herself production and writing endlessly. Her songs were raw, frayed around the edges, soaked in nostalgia and longing. They didn't fit the clean, upbeat pop world that dominated the 2000s. And the industry didn't know what to do with her. In 2010, she released an early album, Lana Del Rey, aka Lizzie Grant. It came and went quietly, disappearing almost as soon as it arrived. No hit single, no buzz, no breakthrough. But in that failure, something changed. Elizabeth began crafting not just music, but a universe, a cinematic persona inspired by old Hollywood, doomed romance, vintage Americana, and the beautiful sadness she'd carried since childhood. This was the birth of Lana Del Rey, an artist not created by the industry, but sculpted from her own memories, heartbreak, and imagination. A woman ready to step into a spotlight she built herself. The world changed for Lana Del Rey in a single moment: a homemade video, uploaded quietly to YouTube in 2011. Video Games, a song that sounded like a memory, stitched together from grainy vintage footage and a voice that felt impossibly intimate. It didn't sound like anything on the radio. It didn't look like anything in pop music. And that was exactly why it exploded. The track went viral. And suddenly, the girl who had spent years singing in empty bars became the center of a global phenomenon. Record labels called, magazines fought to put her on the cover. Critics scrambled to define her. And in early 2012, she released Born to Die, an album that would change the landscape of modern pop. It debuted at the top of charts worldwide, eventually becoming one of the best-selling albums of the decade. Its sound-lush strings, cinematic beats, noir-like melancholy was new, dangerous, and hypnotic. Songs like Blue Jeans, Born to Die, and Summertime Sadness carved out an entire new genre. Sadcore, Hollywood noir pop, Lana pop. Critics couldn't agree on what to call it. Only that it was unforgettable. Her visuals were equally iconic. Flower crowns, vintage Americana, slow motion melancholy. a persona that felt both mythic and painfully human. To her fans, she wasn't just a singer, she was a full aesthetic, a world, a feeling. In the years that followed, Lana dominated cultural conversations. Young and Beautiful became the haunting soul of The Great Gatsby. Her videos reached hundreds of millions of views. She toured globally, selling out arenas. And for a moment, Lana Del Rey wasn't just successful, she was untouchable. But fame at that altitude always comes with a cost. And soon, the world would turn its attention from her music to the controversies surrounding the woman behind the myth. With fame came a spotlight that burned brighter and harsher than Lana Del Rey ever expected. Almost overnight, she became one of the most divisive artists in modern music. The first major blow hit in 2012, when she performed on Saturday Night Live. Her shaky, nervous delivery was mocked relentlessly. Critics called her manufactured, inauthentic, even a failed experiment. For weeks, she became the internet's favorite target. Then came the accusations. Some claimed she was an industry plant, a rich girl whose father secretly funded her rise. Others insisted her old persona, Lizzie Grant, proved she was a fraud, someone who built a fake identity to chase fame. They questioned her voice, her image, her motives, everything. As her music grew darker and more cinematic, new controversies emerged. Her sad girl themes were attacked for romanticizing toxic relationships, emotional dependence, and female submission. Some feminist critics accused her of setting women back a decade. Social media turned every lyric into a battlefield. But the biggest storm arrived in 2020. Lana posted a statement, responding to criticisms of her writing style and female archetypes. Instead of calming the fire, it ignited a cultural explosion. She was accused of tone deafness, racial insensitivity, and deflecting blame. Voices online demanded apologies. Headlines dissected every word. For a moment, it felt like her entire legacy was collapsing under the weight of constant scrutiny. Behind the scenes, the pressure was crushing. Lana struggled with public expectations, artistic identity, and the emotional cost of having every part of her life dissected. She felt misunderstood, loved by fans, hated by critics, and trapped between the two. But where many artists would have retreated, Lana did something unexpected. She stepped deeper into her truth and prepared for a transformation that would redefine her career. After years of navigating controversy, Lana Del Rey made a decision that would shift everything. She stopped trying to prove herself. Instead, she poured all her energy into the one place where she always felt safe, her art. In 2019. She released Norman fucking Rockwell, an album that silenced even her harshest critics. Gone were the accusations of inauthenticity. Instead, the world heard a mature, refined songwriter at the peak of her craft. The record was poetic yet grounded, political yet intimate, nostalgic yet painfully present. It was instantly hailed as a masterpiece and earned a Grammy nomination for Album of the Year. This marked the birth of a new Lana, a woman no longer hiding behind an aesthetic, but embracing her full identity as a storyteller, poet, and cultural voice. She published poetry books. She collaborated with visual artists. She recorded albums that were softer, calmer, more introspective. Her transformation wasn't loud, it was graceful. Rather than chasing charts, she focused on honesty. Instead of crafting a persona, she revealed the woman behind it. Fans felt the shift immediately. Critics who once doubted her now called her one of the defining artists of her generation. Her comeback didn't look like a triumphant return to the spotlight. It looked like evolution, quiet, thoughtful, and deeply human. The reinvention of Lana Del Rey wasn't about changing who she was, but finally being understood. Today, Lana Del Rey stands as one of the most influential voices in modern music, an artist who reshaped pop not by following trends, but by creating a world entirely her own. Her sound, once dismissed as too slow, too sad, too strange, has become a blueprint for a new generation. Artists like Billie Eilish, Halsey, Olivia Rodrigo, and even mainstream pop stars openly cite her as a defining influence. Her legacy is more than her albums or her aesthetics. It's the courage to be vulnerable in an industry built on perfection. It's the reminder that melancholy can be beautiful, that imperfection can be iconic. That staying true to your inner world is a rebellion of its own. Lana Del Rey didn't arrive to satisfy what Hollywood wanted. She arrived to change what Hollywood valued. The journey of Lana Del Rey proves that you Don't have to fit the world's expectations to change it you. Only have to be brave enough to be yourself. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, share it with others, and subscribe for more Hollywood legends and scandals.